everyone. Welcome to another one of our 15-minute webinars, 15-minute LP workouts. As always, just a brief whiz round certain aspects of the platform and a little bit of a closer look at certain parts of the platform that we do on a weekly basis. That I hope you're all finding useful. As ever, if anyone's got any ideas or questions, please pop them in the Q&A down the bottom, just there. Any ideas for future webinars? Any questions on what we're going through today? Always good to hear some feedback. So today we are looking at the student experience, the platform from the perspective of the student. So what we put on there that the students enjoy, what do we put on there that the students would like to engage with, what the sort of platform feels like from the student's point of view. So without further ado, I shall whiz in here. From this point on, this is the new homepage. As you can see, you may have all come across this. Just been updated very recently. I'm delighted with how it looks. Actually, it looks very cool on there. Lots of different tabs. What you can also do now from your own homepage is you can set up student mode. So you just go onto that little tab there, set up student mode, create your student. We'll keep ours in year 5. Why don't we call it, Rob Johnson? So there we go. So by following those simple steps there, you can then log in as a student. There we go. So you enter the void like so. We'll skip through these bits. This is just like a little introduction that the students will first see when they first join the page. So a little bit of a sort of an orientation, which we'll look at those tabs in a little bit closer later on. Good goings. There we go. A little bit of a chat about the characters there. So let's start your journey. So yeah, when students first log on, for some of the students don't have obviously this teacher mode thing here. That's just your ability to get back into your own platform there. So this is LiteracyPlanet. I'll turn down the bird song, as beautiful as it is. This is the student experience. When they first log on, they'll be greeted with these 3 missions. So they can choose from select any one of those missions to complete. And along here is the bar that they can use. We've got our different elements of the platform on there. I'll show you what a platform looks like. And this is their avatar, their little character here, which will make more sense when I show you the shop in a second, actually. So students log on, they can click onto a mission. Unassigned as yet. This is the platform as it is teacher-led. To click onto that, there's clause and subjects. You've got another one here, consonant sounds UK. So they'll log onto that, and that will then take them through to the mission they've selected, where they will have a practice, or they'll dive straight onto the test. We always try and encourage people to do the practice first. Much better results. Sometimes there'll be like 3 or 4 practice, 2 or 3 practices. They're really beneficial in helping the students then complete the test. They can jump straight onto the test. Obviously, some students do if they've left things to the last minute, but we always try and encourage the practice if we can onto there. And there's the test there as well. I won't go into the missions. We will look at missions in a past webinar. And I'll cover missions and assigning missions again in another webinar in the future. So we'll just pop out of that. What we'll look at now are the elements of the platform that we've developed that the children will enjoy and the students will enjoy, and keep them sort of coming back and engaging with the platform, because ultimately we want the students to enjoy their time on LiteracyPlanet and to have fun with the platform and to take a little bit of sort of ownership of the platform and their own account. So let's start at this end here. Gold star. The gold star will take you through to the book of goings, the arcade, and the shop. Each time a student completes a mission, they'll earn a certain amount of crystals, depending on how well they do, how many questions they get correct in the mission that they've accomplished. And when they do it, they can spend them here. So you can go to the arcade, which is awesome, and you can play these excellent little arcade games. So you have Let's have a look. Whisker and Fin is awesome. It's like a sort of hangman game, which will cost them five crystals. There we go. So you can select on there. Let's start with level 2. So this will cost you 5 gems to play. And it's basically like a sort of like a hangman. Oh dear. Oh dear, I'm not doing very well here. I think I may have blown it. Oh, at the very end, there we go. I'll exit now. I could be on there for hours. We've only got 15 minutes. So that's like a little game. Like I say, you can play these little games. Word morph, block stack, sheet bounce. That will cost the students 5 of their gems, and that's just something that some teachers will say, right, do a mission, then you can go and play on the arcades for 10 minutes or so at the end of the lesson. Another thing that people really like is this shop. And this is the place where you can people can spend gems and dress their avatar up. So there's our little fellow there. You say, right, let's get him a nice hairdo. What about that? So there's the price of the things there. So at the moment, I've only got 45 gems, so I can only get these things here. Let's do that. There we go. Hooray, there we go. So now my green avatar's got some lovely pigtails. And that's something that children can really enjoy. It's like I say, some kids don't engage with that bit, some kids do, some people absolutely love it. And it's something that sort of keeps them coming back and sort of inspires them to earn a few more gems as well. That's a really interesting element of it. We also have, excuse me, our Book of Goings, which is a sort of ongoing saga based in the Storyverse, which is the world that LiteracyPlanet is based around. So this is an excellent book, like an audio book. Other stages get unlocked as the children engage more and more in the platform. So again, it's some people really enjoy it, and it sort of encourages them to do more missions to unlock yet more books. So that's an excellent thing as well, which we're really pleased with. That button there takes you back, and then we have this is the amount of gems they have selected here. So they can keep an eye on the amount of crystals they've won. They can go straight to the shop on the arcade from there. You've got like little mini games there. So again, another thing that they can really enjoy exploring. We also have these word little books here. So these things, I always think these are incredibly useful. If you're ever looking for, if you ever have parents that look for things that they can participate with the children at home, these are always a really good book, like audio books, really good thing. So there, let's have a look at some level B ones. Let's have a look at Cat at School. So you have like the visuals, so they can get the they can put the visuals with the words as well, and also
Cat at School.
Books become read out as well.
Max is my pet cat.
So you have the audio, you've got the visual, and you've got a nice gentle narrative to kind of to keep the children involved and to keep them enjoying themselves. And like I say, that's quite an interesting thing to discuss with parents. If ever parents, you want to show parents something that they'd like to sort of participate in the evening, this is a good way they can sort of sit down and work together on those. We also have, which we are incredibly proud of, is the Intrepazine, which I think is a fantastic feature of the platform. So this is basically like sort of magazine articles, for want of a better word, on a whole variety of topics. The idea being that children can look at these and find, it can pique their curiosity. They'll maybe, let's have a look at one. We'll say why we love fairy tales, for example. Children can read it and, pique their curiosity. It may inspire them to read some fairy tales or go off and do a little bit more research and kind of sort of psychology of narrative. It's just a really lovely way for them to sort of explore many different topics on their own. So there we go. It's like a little thing there. I'm doing a webinar on the Intrepazine in a couple of weeks, actually, and we're going to talk about how you can bring these into sort of group lessons and group classes. But I think for today, it's just a really lovely way for children to spend a bit of time on the platform and looking at things that may interest them. Towards the end, there's always a few questions, so they can again, these are what would you say, they're not assessed. So this is purely for the children's enjoyment and for their own sort of learning development. They can also, and these are then my words, or you as teachers can create spelling lists through the custom word list with the words at the end again. So it just kind of ties everything together and sort of helps along with that learning process. There we go. That always takes you back to the homepage. And that's the student experience. There is when if ever there's a teacher assigned mission, you'll see these will have little padlocks on. For example, if that was the mission that was teacher assigned, that would still be open. And these would all be padlocked up, as would the games. The Intrepid isn't actually, but the games in the arcade end up being locked, and that's just the way that you have that teachers can sort of encourage the students to take part in the lesson in the mission that you've assigned to them. So it's really an awesome way to do things there. There we are. That's in a nutshell the student experience. Like I say, it's one of those things. There's plenty of things that different elements that students can enjoy, and different elements that some students really embrace. Other students embrace other elements. But yeah, there's plenty on there to keep students engaged and to keep them having fun and to keep them coming back to the platform and enjoying themselves and their time on it. So I hope that's been helpful. As always, oh yeah, if you want to get back to teacher mode again, then you just can click back there. There we go. And that is the student experience. I hope that's been helpful, and I hope that's given you a rough idea of how it looks from the students' perspective. Like I say, we try and keep these things sort of 10-minute little snippets of information about the platform. But if you'd like to learn any more about the student experience or any elements of the platform or any kind of points that you feel that you need a little bit more information on, as always, please give me a yell or send me an email, and we can jump on a call and we can go into a little bit more depth on anything you'd like to discuss further.